So I'll start this session now. So hi everyone and welcome to Mice Affairs e-panel discussion today. And the
Hi everyone.
topic of today's discussion is on the travel industry and the business continuation plan for any outbreak for any reason. And as we all know, and rather we all are true witness to the fact that today COVID-19 has affected down the whole travel business, be it MICE, be it FIT, holiday, weddings, event, aviation, or hospitality. And I remember a long time back, we used to hear that travel is a luxury. And in case of any such situation, the first cut implies on the luxury. So is the case with travel. To elaborate and discuss more on this subject, we have panelists from various domains today. And thank you everyone for joining us. So let me introduce everyone. So first of all, Sandesh Nayak from Rainbow Trade Fair Tour from Mumbai,
Hi dear.
and second, Mr. Jay Chandar from Saicon Technology. They are also the facilitation partner for today's platform, for today's discussion, and Mr. Dharmendra from Jainis Holidays from Delhi,
Hi.
and Mr. Tejas Ambani from Golden Travels Limited, DMC for Hong Kong, Macau, and China.
Hi friends.
So welcome everyone, and I think let's start with the first question of the day that we have shared with you is measuring the impact on business.
Sachin,
So
just 1 second, Sachin.
yeah,
So what I'll just recommend to everyone, right? So you have this mute unmute button that is there. So if you're not talking, if you have some background noise, you can just click on the mute button. And second is when there is somebody talking and you want to say interject, there is a button to raise your hand on the bottom left-hand side is the second button. So if you click on that, then people will know that you want to interject or something like that.
Okay.
all right. So let's start with the first question, and would be the measuring the impact on business. As you all are from different domains, we have people from trade fairs, from MICE, and then from event, and also from the technology background. So the idea is to get the first-hand information from everyone. So I think let's start with Sandesh first. How is the impact on your business, Sandesh? I think your microphone is muted or what?
Yeah. Hi. Can you hear me all?
Yes, yes.
Sachin, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So impact on business, yes, there is a huge impact. Either you talk about the business travel, you talk about the leisure travel. Uh, no one want to travel during this epidemic or pandemic situation. And in fact, nowadays the videos are coming out. Either you talk about Wuhan videos where the cities got deserted, or the Italy videos and photos. So people are really scared. They don't want to move out from the houses, or they're trying to self quarantine themselves. In fact,
Right,
so
right,
the business is really affected due to this. And
right,
what I feel is, yeah, need to we need an outbreak from this.
right. So same question will ask Dharmendra from JNS, who are basically into pure mice business. If
Hi,
Dharmendra
Sachin.
can, yeah.
Hi, Sachin, and my all fellow fraternity from travel business. The impact has been great. I mean, we have lost everything for next 4 or 5 months.
Uh,
Around 6 conferences gone. In terms of numbers, if I talk, we have lost more than 1,200 passengers. In terms of
okay.
revenue, if I talk, then we are talking of around close to 3 to 4 crore rupees of revenue worth. So yeah, the impact is huge, and right now I'm sitting in office. Though we have given work from office for everybody,
Yeah, yeah.
so only me and my accountant are there just to assess the
Mm.
closing of the March, as
Right,
well as
right.
just to assess the losses how we are going to cope up with the for next 4 months with
Mm.
all the team members. So it's a
Right.
very critical question how to sustain now. Correct.
Right. Okay, so this was from the B2C point of view, I would say. So we have a person from the B2B background, Mr. Tejas, who is from the DMC perspective. So Tejas, maybe take some points from you. What is your experience on this?
Okay. First of all, thank you, Sachin, for organizing this wonderful session. So for me, I have been from the B2C level, right? So I had an retail experience also. I was into mice and trade fairs, right,
Agree.
from Orbit, Thomas Cook, and then Yatra. And then for the last 2 years, moved on to Hong Kong to work for the destination management company. Okay, so I would like to acknowledge what Dhiren has said from Color Mice, because I myself have been very close to the mice industry.
Yeah.
So the effect has been tremendous. So if I talk about Hong Kong, so we already started feeling the dent right from the protest point of view.
Right.
So let's say from the month of July 2019, we already had 45% of the effect on our business pipelines. When we talk about any important mice movement which used to happen, the corporate would absolutely deny. Right. So
Right.
when things started shaping fast, so first it was protest.
Yeah.
After that, airlines started to pull out their operations from Hong Kong, right? And you can see the drop of Jet Airways, major there. Indigo pulled out their frequency from Bangalore, out of they made it one.
Right.
So the month of Jan was looking quite good. The business trend was building up, and then we can see this COVID knocking the doors.
Yeah.
And as a DMC, as a destination management company, we run with a lot of sentiments with the travel fraternity. Okay.
Right.
So right from the tour guides, right from the restaurants, right from the transportation companies, right from the hotels, right from your attractions, and the most challenging part as a DMC level for us, we were primarily focusing on the Indian and the Indian subcontinent market. So the dependency level was mainly on one particular market, though I started expanding to the Middle East and North Africa, but that was like a very, very new start. Right.
Yeah. So major market was India for you.
Absolutely. So we being Indians based out there, and it was like shaping up, and it was like a nail in the coffin. So it was like a big shock. So if I talk about the YOY, so it was almost like we're down by 96% with no income right now.
Sure, of course. So after hearing from the travel fraternity, I would like to get some ideas from Jay also, from the technology point of view. Are you facing any challenge here from this COVID-19 outbreak?
So actually, we would, just to give you some background about what we were doing. Right? So we are an out-and-out technology company where we used to have a bunch of software to help physical events automate themselves, become more intelligent and stuff like that, right? So the very natural next step for us was to basically figure out, how do we make physical events online, right? Try and give the complete experience there, and make the whole process efficient, right? So right now, we are obviously. So I'm only going to talk about the conferences space, exhibition space, B2B meeting space. Now. You're seeing a lot of cancellations that are happening in the physical events that are there. But the big opportunity that event organizers need to look is that this is the time to actually try out your online conferences and exhibitions, right? And over here, we're not just talking about, say, a simple webinar, right? So everything that you were doing in a physical exhibition, you can actually do it online, right? You can have parallel sessions that are running. You can have exhibitors that show their products. You can have live meetings that are being set between businesses. You can have people network with each other, right? So all of this is possible online, right? And effectively as an organizer, right, how you need to look at it is, what are my key things I'm trying to achieve? I'm trying to get branding for my sponsors, for my exhibitors. I'm trying to get my delegates and attendees more business, and I'm trying to disseminate information in terms of the different sessions that you have, panel discussions.
Sure. So sorry to interrupt you in between. I have a question here. So basically, just wanted to understand one thing from your event company, the technology company, I would say. So are you facing any challenge in terms of business loss out of this COVID? Because later on we have another question where we are taking the plan B or the recovery plan, so we can take that question that place. So right now, want to understand, do you face any loss of business out of this situation?
So see, it's a rapidly evolving situation. We are seeing, conferences and all that are getting cancelled. But at the same time, you have these same guys who are also open to converting this into an online event, right? So that is also happening in parallel, right?
Sure.
In summary, what I'm trying to say over here, right? While people are facing these losses, there is an opportunity over here, and people who move to capitalize on it really quickly are going to benefit. And if this COVID thing goes on for a long time, I think our industry is going to change. For the long term, and the way we do business is going to change. So the guys who are going to capitalize on it quickly are the guys who are going to stand out.
Sure. Thanks, Jay. So from the discussion overall, we can see there's a huge impact on the business. That's pretty clear from everyone's viewpoint. So post impact, I would ask everyone, what was the first step which companies have immediately applied? If we can, take this question in the same order, let's start from Sandesh. So what was the first step which you have taken, Sandesh, as a measure?
Yeah, hi. If we talk about the first step which we have taken is to reduce operational cost.
Okay.
Cost and keep our employees and customer in confidence. Most important, keeping your employees, like whenever it will bounce back, or whenever any vaccine or drug will come out, then we'll be again like in the same phase, same enthusiasm will come back. And the same way we talk to our customers, those who had already booked with us or about to finalize with us. So we told them that I will come back and will be bouncing back quickly with the same quantum, same phase, no worries.
But I think, Sandesh, your business is more of a seasonal or a date-based business, I would say, because it's a trade fairs. So trade fairs are running on fixed dates. So I'm sure you must be getting some information that these trade fairs have changed their dates and all. So it's all like, yeah, please.
Yeah, impact would be like, if we talk about the first measure which we have taken is this. Second is, initially we were not aware, like, initially the first China was gone.
Yeah.
And when we talk about December, Jan, so we came to know, yes, maybe in a month or two, it will be like, we'll have some vaccine or drugs. So maybe not April, but May, June fairs will be on. But China, we were little bit skeptical. We were okay with, we can survive with Europe and other parts. So initially, we were quite okay. We'll not take new, whatever we take new employees and all these things in for April, May, June. So we'll not take that. But slowly and gradually, we find that Europe is also getting under COVID-19, COVID-19 and all. So then we thought of better take employees into confidence, the customers, those who have already booked, into confidence, because they have started cancelling that time itself. We told them, okay, just wait, let the things come back, let the things be better, and we'll come back to you. Important is first step which we have taken is just keeping everyone into confidence. Either you talk about first is obviously employees. With these employees, we talk about customers. Even now, as of now, if we talk about, we have kept all our 5 offices open. It's not even at 1 or 2 person is there in the office, but yes, maximum of them. We come back on 3rd or 4th point when we talk about human resource. But yes, just to keep the customers' confidence and employees' confidence, we have kept all our offices open.
Right, great. So same question I'll ask Dharmendra ji from GNS. Being a MICE company, what kind of measures you have placed when you first witnessed or came to know about the situation? Dharmendra, can you hear me?
A new person.
Yeah.
Am I audible now?
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
So the first thing which came in our mind was first week of Feb, when the world was traveling other than China.
Right.
And we had certain groups to Thailand and certain to Baku, and then one to Dubai and one to Amsterdam and all.
Right.
So 8th of Feb, we decided that we are not going to operate 12th Feb group. And we told our clients, boss, we can operate this, not a problem, but we suggest not to go. Money is secondary thing, but your safety is very, very utmost care to us. If you are alive, then we are alive. Simple.
Of course. Yeah. Sure.
So still traveling till 20th Feb, but still we told our clients straightforward that take our advice, please don't travel. It is not safe right now, because what we have seen in China, it may increase to anybody through airports. People were still transiting in airports.
Okay.
And then we told our clients, whatever cancellations we can save for you, we will save for you. We are not going to keep even a single penny with us. But
Right.
right now, it is very, very important that we should be health conscious. We should not take any risk. This was the first thing.
This is the first
Second thing, for our group for New Zealand, we told the clients that let's shift it to August. I
Okay.
hope August will be good.
Yeah,
15th
hopefully.
December, it was looking good. But now I cannot say what is going to happen.
Yeah.
After this, what we started doing that we reduced our own travel.
Yeah.
Around 15th of Feb onwards, we were reducing our own travel, because when I am traveling to some country, for example, then I am affecting more than 300 or 400 people. I may affect.
Right. May affect. Yes.
I'm planning I'm going to airport. I will take flight. I go there, meet the persons in arrival area and all.
Right.
We started to stop this activity, and we offered clients that okay, if you are wishing to go, we can still get it managed by our local guide. But we suggest, if I am safe, then you are safe, and if you are safe, then I am safe. Very simple.
Sure.
And we try to reduce our own travel within domestically also.
Right.
Also, we try to reduce our travel. After that, we have started taking measures of cost cutting as far as office operations are concerned. There will be a situation in some people may have to go on half salaries or some percentage of salaries, or somebody may have to go. Not sure what is going to happen, because MICE is very specialized, billing. It happens generally. It starts from July, and now I am not able to see July is gone. So our first 3 months are gone. So otherwise that we have taken measures that we have given Netflix and Amazon Prime access to each of our team members to sit at home, and also given carrom boards and ludos. And right now I'm sitting in my office. I will show you that my team is playing carrom board.
Okay. So more of employees motivational kind of things which you are exercising right now.
Yeah, I mean, if we are motivated, then we can keep our clients motivated. If we are motivated, we are feeling energetic, we can tell our clients to be energetic. So, and also we have made some emailers, and we are reorganizing our files, reorganizing our Excel, in which we offer to the clients different offers. We are doing this mind setting activity. That's okay. Let's wait for a good time, and then go into the market like a bomb.
Sure. All right. Thanks, Dharmendra. And what about Tejas? How about your views on the same?
I started ordering carrom boards and ludos after getting advice from Dhiren. Fantastic advice.
Fantastic advice. Okay. All right. So,
so I like it. That's quite interesting. So it's a very difficult question to answer. The measures taken, because the first thing which we do is the panic button. We start cutting down the operational cost. Okay. So in this scenario, we have to really act very, very, I would say, wise. So as far as I would talk of myself and the company, what we have done. So like, the tour guides and the transportation companies. So it's like they are in real need of the money. So we have extended some credits to them. So possibly the credit lines have been extended. And to be very frank, we had an open discussion with the investors of the company, and I had a discussion with the team. And we have come out with a policy of deferred salary of 50%. So because we have been passing through this bad phase right from July. I'm talking about my perspective as a destination management company from Hong Kong. Yeah. So we have already implemented 50% deferred salary till the month of July. And I'm quite happy that everyone in the team is happy to accept that. And the work from home goes without saying. But at the same time, we are trying to gel up, meet up with the hotels, keep up the relationship very tight, uptight. And we we are doing some kind of weekly meetings in the office or a virtual meeting, as now I'm in India. But yes, primarily the cost control has to be there in place, because we are not a venture capitalist funded company, right? So we need to ensure that even the employees which are working with us has to understand that everything is linked up together, right? So we've already given them a bond that, once the situation gets okay, so from July onwards we will start paying off the balance. 50%. So we have been very frank, and this is what they liked it, because we can see that down the 3 months or 4 months we have to understand and accept the situation for sure.
Right. So as you said that you have exercised this 50% reduction in salaries to your staff. So from here only I'll take another point, how other companies are acting on this kind of model. So are you working on the same model, or there are some more options which are available right now? How about Sandesh? What is your plan on this, on the human resource part?
Yeah, hi, buddy. I am also doing the same thing. Like, initially, as I said, we have given the sales team the work from home concept. With the obviously with few of the people, we have almost 43, 44 staff, more than 40 staff. So for maximum of them, we have given 50% reduction the salary. Like 50% only we can offer them instead of they are working home or from the office. And second, we come up with operational team. Yes, they have also started work from home. Then, in fact, we talk about the lower level employees. They need money to be with the family and all. So we are keeping them. Either they want to come if we have work. Then we are keeping them. They can come to office, or they can directly go. Initially, we thought of measures which we take. We come back in plan B, where these lower level employees or the employees who are just running into the market, going for the documents pickup and all. So we started concentrating on visas, those who want their families to be US, UK, Canada visas done. So let's get into this. Let's give our customers time and get these things done. Okay. So, and obviously account team is the important player right now, because they have March ending and they have to be in office. So all accounting staff is there in office, so they are obviously coming. Rest others are working from home. Still, if we feel that they are not okay, or they are finding some issues, we told them clearly not to come to office. Just relax, be with the family. 1 or 2 days, there is no problem, because we know this time will at least 1 or 2 months will go.
Right. Okay. And how about Dharmendra ji? How you are doing this human resource management? We have seen that you are exercising this motivational techniques in your office, or you have given them some facilities for while working from home. Are there any other steps which you are taking right now?
I think we lost.
Yeah. No, so we have given them. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
So I have given them access to Ola corporate account, and I have told them specifically not to use metro or bus to come to our office. If they have to come, to come, then they will use only taxis to come, and they will have to carry a sanitizer, a small bottle, which is right here with me now. Small. Every time, each time they will have to carry, and whenever they are sitting in a car, they have to rub their hands before putting their hands on the handles.
How about the main ingredient, salary part? That's what
I'm coming. I have to be little low and audible.
Low in voice. Yeah, all your colleagues are there. You're low in voice.
Yeah. So this is under consideration now. That yes, for senior level employees, we are going to keep it at 50% for next 3 months. For lower level employees, we are going to give them around 75% of their salary, just 25% cut for the lower employees, because there has to be a minimum amount in their pockets to spend. So it is very much required. For lower level, we are giving just little less so that they can still manage. But for higher level, will be cut down to 50% for a moratorium of around say 4 months or 3 months.
Right.
We don't know even what happens after 3 months. We are not aware what is going to happen.
Happen after 3 months. Yeah.
So we have just given a brief to them last day that it may be happening that we have to take some harsh decisions. However,
Right.
we have not informed them yet
Yeah.
because till March end we are going to pay them full salaries without any doing any effect from
Right.
April 1st onwards. There has to
Sure.
be
Sure. Sure.
this type of
Okay.
act.
All right. Okay. Okay. So, Jay, I would raise this question to you. If you can suggest some points here on the human resource fund at this challenging time, what is your suggestion on the same?
Yes, I mean, I'll just tell you, what we are doing, how we are approaching it, right? So, first thing is we have all started working from home because we have said, we need to be responsible because we are
Right.
seeing what's happening in other parts of the world where people believe it's not going to happen to them, and very quickly situation changes. So we said, let's be responsible. Second is because we are already offering technology for events. We are using, technology ourselves to be productive, communicate with each other, and stuff like that.
Right.
And third is, we are developing newer technologies to be able to work, remotely more efficiently, so that if it's working well for us, we can actually release it out into the market, right?
Okay.
And the next thing that we're doing is, we are very aggressively trying to educate the market in terms of, at least the event size, that's exhibitions, conferences, that, don't lose morale, right? There are ways out. Let's work together and, get out of this, right? And the third, basically, in terms of the morale, right? Basically, what we are saying is internally, this is the time to stick together, right? As a family sort of a thing. And, we will weather the storm, right? So what we are basically saying is, one is, we're going to work together, but this is not the time to slack because it's work from home. So in work from home, work is the important part, right? That is the key part, operating part. So we need to work harder than ever right now, right, to make sure that we get out of this, right, and possibly make the most of this situation that we have.
Right.
Hands, because I see sometimes in apartment complex groups, people have started messaging, let's play cricket in the morning or something like that. That's not work from home, right? So this is time to get serious and think about it.
Sure. Okay, thanks, Jay. All right, so we'll move on to our next question, which is on the confirmed or semi-confirmed business. I would say that there were some businesses which you closed before this news, and maybe some of the clients have paid you half the money to confirm the business. Then how are you reacting to these kind of propositions? Is it just a cancellation mode on, or there is more to it? If you can, start with Sandesh again first.
Yeah. Hi. See, regarding confirmed or semi-confirmed booking, if we talk about, mainly we are into, as I told, we are into trade fairs and exhibition travel. So what
Right.
happens is, maximum of the dates are like postponing. They are not canceling the exhibition; they are postponing the date. So what are the confirmed booking we had? We are postponing the same booking on the new dates. So the passengers are, maximum passenger are okay. Few passengers are saying that they want to cancel. They don't want to at all travel. So we are just we told them that just let the things get into control. We'll update you how we can move the things, because as of now we are in touch with the airline and hotels, how they are refunding or how they are postponing the dates and everything. Although keeping China in mind, yes, China is almost, what do we feel, if it is recovering also, but people will not travel. Very few people will travel, in fact, for at least 6 months to 1 year.
Right,
This is
because
what
for trade fair, as far as I know, China and Germany is main market, right? For trade
main
fair
market.
business.
Yeah. So
So,
that's why I'm talking about China and Germany. And in fact, as of now, Europe is worstly affected nowadays. China is
right,
overcoming with the issues. Wuhan is still working, started working and all. But when we talk to people, those who booked with us on China fairs, they are still saying that they don't want to travel at all. And the plus point
uh,
is, as during April or May, at least for China, almost all the airlines and hotel are ready to refund the money. So keeping
right,
some our operational cost and all, we are also okay with the passengers, those who want refund, or we are giving them credit note, so that they can use it in further bookings. So maybe if they want to travel in the same exhibition, although we are not shutting down the China exhibitions, but yes, we know the less people will travel.
Less people will travel. Okay. So is it the same case with MICE business? Dharmendra ji, I would like to ask you about this. Is it the same proposition with MICE business, or is it somehow different?
Let me tell you. So most of the group have got cancelled
Okay.
with cancellations.
With
So
cancellations. Okay.
with cancellations, and we are in the process of refunding the money after taking from the airline, but that's a process which takes around 20 to 30 days. So it is going to take time, and we have told our clients that the refund will be given back to you once we get it. As far as this is concerned, one group has been able to be postponed for New Zealand
Mhm.
Christmas for August, and we have got a
Okay.
major group of 750 persons to go on 4th of April.
Okay.
And our client says, okay, cancel everything.
Mm.
Airline
Right.
is
Right.
not
Right.
ready to refund the money even after the cancellation. So this is a 50 lakh
Okay.
rupees value of ticketing only, 50 lakh rupees worth
Mm-hmm.
of ticketing only, which is stuck up right
Ticketing
now, and
only.
that's why we are sitting in office right now, fighting with Indigo, fighting with Goer, fighting with SpiceJet. Okay, give us the money without main cancellations. So
Right.
it's a
Right.
very tricky situation. Only cancellation part is 23 lakhs rupees. Now no client is
Mm.
able to bear 23 lakhs, you know.
That is of course. Mm.
This that on TVs, on radios, on newspapers, they are saying that airlines are giving advertisements, nil cancellations, nil cancellations. However, airline is
Yeah.
actually not doing that. Airline is just giving a free postponement.
Free postponement. Yes.
It's not a cancellation. It is not a free cancellation.
Right. 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 Right.
So it's again a fight to educate the client. They are not able to understand. They still come back with clippings that no, this airline is giving, this airline is giving, this airline is giving. Now we have started keeping them in CC in our conversation with airlines, just to show them
Right.
that trust us. This is not the money which we are going to keep it. So
Right.
50
Right.
lakh
Right.
rupees is stuck up just in ticketing, and now the client is
Just.
giving us pressure to refund them back. So it's a
Uh,
very, very tricky situation. Very, very, uh, not understandably, people are not able to listen to this that they need money back.
money back. Yes. Yes.
Airline
Agree.
is
Agree.
not giving.
Right, right, right. So it's a very, very tricky situation for everyone, for all the travel companies as well as the final customer who's going to undertake travel. So it's a difficult situation to handle everything, I would say. So from this point of view, can we come on to the recovery plan of the situation? I would go back to Tejas. So Tejas, if we
I would
can,
like to take up. I would like to just point out the point number 4 what you had, right? So I had very
uh,
interesting thing to share.
okay,
So we had this HSBC India business lined up for a conference in Hong Kong, and it was a MICE crew.
okay,
So we already pitched in for with the operator in India, and we got the business. So at this time, it was just building up. It was the lunar period, and the sentiments were very high, good, and we had the recce, and we inspected the hotel and everything, and it was all set and done. We got the first transfer of 30,000 US into the account. Everything was fine, and then this news started coming up. It was more of into China, right? And the HSBC headquartered in Hong Kong, and then suddenly they released the press release that we will postpone this. Still, it was a breather for us,
right,
right? That okay, this is going to happen in the month of April, May, or maybe June. They just chuckled off Southeast Asia from the destination, HSBC, right? So this kind of fear, definitely, I would second the thought of Dhiren and also Sandesh. So there is definitely a fear amongst the passengers. But yes, one thing I would like to say to all of you, not because I am based out in Hong Kong and I'm that part of the world, China will come up very fast. Trust me. We have a dependency on that destination as far as the trade phase is concerned. Sandesh, if you listen to me, am I audible to you? Sandesh.
Yes, yes.
Hello. So we have
Yeah,
a dependency because I've worked in that part of business also. We have a dependency on this country, and we have. I can see that they've already started. If you talk about the complete Guangdong region, which comprises of your Guangzhou, Shunde, where the important Canton Trade Fair happens, and if you talk about the northeast of China, they've already started production. We don't have any choice. So by June, trust me, it's like even the people who are into the trade fair business, who are into the industry, small, medium enterprises, they would start. MICE has never been so focused into China. Okay.
Right.
For me, it is going to be a challenging time convincing people like Dhiren, convincing people like who are into MICE business that, hey, please start pitching into the customers that, okay, now Hong Kong is good or Macau is good, because you guys will start accepting what the customer will say, right? For me, it is going to be a double whammy down the line for sure.
But if we talk about convincing your clients, so on the same hand, B2C players like Sandesh or Dharmendra from Giannis, they again have to convince their clients also in the same manner.
There is a message I'm trying to push it across, that okay, whenever it's like things go rosy and fine, at least don't forget us. That is Southeast Asia.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. In fact, to add Tejas' thoughts, like, I just spoke yesterday around 20-24 clients of my pharma industry, and they've started getting, like,
I tell you,
the shipment from the China and all.
I tell you something, the drugs which we use, even the paracetamol, it's like the API comes from China, which is like 70%. So tell me where exactly we will go. We will have to have the travel happen. The leisure travel would not happen. The business travel have no choice.
Right.
Yeah,
keep your fingers very crossed and high, and please maintain your resources and talent at your end intact.
Right.
So I would like to ask, what is the apt recovery plan, or is there any plan B for travel market? I can't see a travel, plan B for travel market at least. So if you can share some knowledge on that, do you have something?
We have MICE Affairs company. We have companies like MICE Affairs with us. Absolutely. Don't you think you are doing such a positive? You are doing such a positive thing. You are giving us a platform. You are giving us a platform wherein we all are tremored right now that what is going to happen. But you are bringing all these people with positive minds together. This is the first thing we need to do. Most important.
Thank you so much, Tejas, for these words. So, what about Dharmendra ji? What do you have to say on this context?
I agree with Tejas. However, one thing came into my mind 2 days back, that let's open a restaurant somewhere on highway.
Okay.
Or a special dhaba, I was just joking, but yes, we have to live in this, we don't have any other choice. We have to do this. So it will take 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, whatever it is going to take. We have to do it. We don't have any other choice. Simple. We have put in our soul into it. Now we have to live into it.
Okay. I would like to raise this question to Jay from Sarcon Technologies. Do you have something to suggest around this topic, Jay? If you can answer this question, please.
Yes, okay. So basically, how I had started off, right?
Yeah.
It's basically an opportunity to go online, right? Exhibition organizers, conference organizers, they already have all the resources, right? Which is required to make, say, an online event a success, right? All that is needed is a mindset change, right? And why I'm saying this is such a huge opportunity is, just imagine if your 700 billion a year, right, events industry, right? If that starts going online, you have a company in Bangalore, which is a cutting edge company that wants to present in CES in Vegas. Today they can't do it because of the travel costs and all those things that are there. That's going to happen, right? You can only do X number of physical events as of today, because you have to spend for a lot of fixed costs that are there. So what you're going to do with online events is you're going to times the more number of events that are going to happen, right?
Right.
So it is an opportunity over here, right? I mean, I don't have a suggestion yet for the travel folks, right?
Yeah, of course.
I'm starting to think of, maybe augmented reality. I mean, virtual reality could be one this thing, but I shouldn't, right? Because it is quite serious over there. But for exhibitions and conferences, there is a way out.
Right. Okay. Thanks, Jay. All right.
I have a counter. I have a counter for this, just to make it more interesting.
Please.
So it is creating a direct threat to the trade fair industry. Don't you think, Sandesh?
How do you say that? Tejas, in what way?
I would like to. Is Sandesh there or not from Rainbow? Sandesh? Is Sandesh there? Hello?
Yeah, I'm there. Definitely.
So what do you feel by doing a virtual exhibition? Don't you think your business will get affected?
Will get affected a little bit, but yes, not because people don't rely that much on virtual exhibitions and all. You know, why people do travel for exhibitions or trade fairs is just to regain the confidence of the clients, or face-to-face meeting and all, just to get back their relations back. You know, it happens in business that sometimes ups and downs do come. You know, sometimes the goods have not reached on time, or maybe some quality measures, or maybe some ins and outs. So when the people meet and discuss one to one, it gets different implications and all. Otherwise, virtual exhibitions or virtual things can be done, either you, if they want to talk to them on every day, maybe they would be talking either on any kind of these online platforms and all. But one-to-one meeting is most important, so that's why people have to travel to the exhibitions. And let's talk about recovery plan. Yes, as I said, the we are confident. In fact, once the you have any vaccine or any drug, once the fear is out, people will start traveling.
Okay,
That's
yes,
the best
people
way
will
to come
start.
back.
Yeah, people will start traveling, but here I would say the job of a B2C player, like people like you, that would be
Mhm.
more important to educate them
Oh,
and to
exactly.
update them about the destination scenario as on date, what measures they have taken, and explain them that which destination is safe to travel and things like that. What do you say?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. In fact, as I said initially, when the China gets down, so we started uh, sending the flyers of other destinations, leisure destinations, and all, even the domestic destination. The moment Europe went down, so we started Leh Ladakh and all. But as soon as we found the impact in domestic also, then we thought of, okay, let's just spread on the positive news, speak to the client rather than going and meeting them. Best time, that plan B is this only: go and meet the client. Even our
Oh,
sales team is doing, they're working from home, but at least 2 or 3 meetings, take out few, find out the area and just go 3 4 meetings you can do if anybody is there, or just say hi to the client. Don't talk about anything about travel and all, just go and meet them, because once the travel business will bounce back, these are the people who is going to give you business.
sure, sure, sure. Okay,
So
all
I'd
right.
actually like to chip in over here. So I think somebody like Sandesh, who is already doing trade fairs, like he's in
Right.
the best position to do an online trade fair. So he should not look at it as a risk for him, but as an opportunity, because he already has the audience, he already has the brand. So it's very easy for him to move there, right? Second thing, I just want to give you an example, right? For example, we were at SATE, right, at Delhi,
Mhm.
say a month back, right? And over there, what we saw is, you have, say, I don't know, 50,000 plus people who are coming there. And what is basically happening is that people are traveling for all over the world. They're coming at the event, and they were all saying, what, I'm going from one booth to the other. People don't have time to hear me out. Everyone is in a hurry, and all I have is the fishbowl where I'm just collecting cards with me, right? And even when you talk to people, right? So for example, Oyo, right? They were sending lots and lots of delegation. I mean, your exhibition booths across these events, and they were sending kids basically, right? And what was happening is people were not going to their booths, right? They were barely even collecting those cards in their fish bowls, right? But so even there, right? Even an event at the level of SATE, these inefficiencies are there, right? So I would urge you to seriously look at it as an opportunity. Just think of it as the UPI moment for Paytm, right? Till the demonetization happened, no one was doing digital. It happened, and
Right.
then people moved, and now UPI is the fastest growing payment system right now, right? So
Sure.
yeah.
Right. Appreciate. Yes, we should try for this, and nothing is bad rather than trying. So
Sure,
good,
sure,
Jay.
sure.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So the last question of mine here would be, like we have seen, whenever there is a condition like this, the government of India, lays down their hand and provide a support to a particular industry in terms of financial benefits or non-financial benefits. But I mean, what is your take on asking the government on supporting the travel industry at this time? If you can start with the, I mean, any one of you, you would like to throw some light
Yeah.
on this.
Well, I say is first is not to implement as of now the TCS which is coming up. It's again. the big issue for travel agents to collect the TCS amount, that is 5%, which government is going to implement for foreign travel. Because again, it's a big issue. They cannot control, like, GST. If the client is doing directly booking on booking.com or XYZ, the .com companies, those who are not belong to India, then GST is not applicable to them. So 5% is at that time itself it's saved. And second is 5% this
TCS.
TCS tax is going to come up. Yeah, so the better is, as of now, not to put this tax on the things. Second is, yes, on the cancellation charges, because client feel that we should refund them, or we should adjust the full amount and the new booking. So whenever they what are the credit note we are giving, they should make it in the next time. But if the airline and hotels is going to charge us, then nothing can be done. So there we should have a relief in during this, like, from the government. This is the best what government can do for us, rather than putting some relief package and all any other thing. This is what I feel.
How about Dharmendra ji? What do you say? Dharmendra, can you hear us?
You forgot to unmute, sorry.
No problem.
So I was telling you that this is very important matter of TCS, and we are. Excuse me, guys. Just okay. Sorry. So yeah, this is a very important matter in which we are also part of campaign against TCS and doing a lot of tweets, retweets every day, more than 200, just to ensure that we are still on level playing ground as far as OTAs are concerned.
Right.
Because we were already losing 5% of GST in comparison to OTAs. We were already 5% higher than the cost, because we have to keep our margin also. And now again, one more 5% has come up for in case of TCS, whereas we are not at level playing field. We are higher than 15% or more than online platforms. So this will kill the business. So this is a very, very big thing as far as travel is concerned. No, it doesn't affect MICE directly. It doesn't affect MICE directly. But howsoever, the clients, the corporates, individual travelers will still like to book with us. They are not going to book because they are going to online.
Right.
So this is a very, very precarious situation as far as TCS is concerned. And number two, yes, we still have to pay our rentals. We don't have any business for next 4 months. And everybody of us who are talking right now in this forum, nobody is having any business for next 4 months, but still have to pay our EMIs, our rentals, our employees' cost and all. So yes, we are also putting up Twitter campaigns for kind of some relaxation in terms of some taxations. Maybe roll back some GST portions, maybe roll back some percentage of the profit tax which we have to pay. Maybe roll back TCS, and maybe roll back the interest part which we are going to pay for at least 1 year. For at least 1 year, no interest will be payable. At least that will be a good relief.
Right. So Tejas, what's your take on this?
Okay, so Hong Kong government has been quite supportive in this. So we have an epidemic relief fund, just to give you an idea on this. So which is like 700 million Hong Kong dollars for registered for travel industry. So every travel company is like, I just did all the completion. We are getting almost close to around $100,000 as a relief fund. This is going to be credited to our account possibly in the next coming 14 days. Number one. Number two is like tax relief. So I will not be paying tax for this coming year.
Okay.
Number three, the business loan is like previously it was around 6%. So I can now apply for a business loan, and the repayment has to be, it's like 5 years and 10 years, and the percentage will be only 1.5%.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so these benefits the Hong Kong government has extended, and this kind of relief funds has been very active in Singapore and Thailand. But yes, this kind of fund, for an example, we will be getting around $100,000 Hong Kong dollars. So we are allocating almost 30% of this money to the tour guides and the transport companies. Because these are the people who have been affected very much.
Sure. Okay. All right.
And hope so. I think India should come up with such kind of relief measures.
Yeah.
And as a panel, as an association, if you guys strongly put it across to the tourism ministry, I am pretty confident that they will look into it, because India contributes to around 4.5% of the GDP as a tourism industry.
Right. Sure. All right. So can we have the last bite from Jay also on this? Jay, do you have something to say?
Yeah, I think most of the panelists have covered it. And I think especially in this last one, right? If our government does something on the lines of how Hong Kong is doing, I think that would be great.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So from the whole discussion, seems out to be travel trade seems to be very optimistic to me to recover well in the coming months. So the fingers are crossed, and we really pray well for the industry to recover fast. And just as an ending note, thanks to all of you for joining us today. And we look forward to have you on some other platforms very soon. And thanks to our technology partner, Sarcon Technologies, Jay also, for providing us this platform as well.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sachin.
And wish you all
Thank
the
you,
best.
Sachin. Thank you, Sachin. Thank you, Sarkon. I think you guys are doing very good job. I have something in mind for you guys for sure. So keep in touch with me, Sachin, if you can share the number for sure.
Sure. Of course. I'll do so.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dhiren.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Jai. Thank you,
Thank you.
Sachin. Thank you, Sandesh. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.